Many shades of pink and black health. Many shades of pink and black health, where good health equals long life.
Welcome to the Many Shades of Pink and Black Health radio program on KBOKradio.com, sponsored by Many Shades of Pink. I'm your host, Wendy Sherrill, breast cancer survivor and advocate.
And I'm your co-host, Dr. Susanna Fowler, retired family physician. Our special guest today is Stephanie Ugochi Iwuaba, fashion designer at Ugochi Iwuaba. Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Wendy.
And our topic today is One Fashionable Night, San Diego. So, now that we have you here finally, tell us a little bit about yourself and your family.
Yes, and who is Stephanie Ugochi Iwuaba?
Well, I'll start by saying thank you for having me here. My name is Stephanie Ugochi Iwuaba, and I am the fashion designer at Ugochi Iwuaba. I am a mom, a wife. It goes the other way though. I'm a wife, a mom, a daughter, a sibling to some people, and I'm from Nigeria originally. And I came here. I just became a citizen last month. So.
Oh, well, congratulations! All right. Yes.
That was interesting. So now I can proudly say I'm Nigerian American.
All right.
Yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
So how long have you been here in this country?
I've been here 6 years.
6 years.
Yes, it's going to be 7 years in September.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so when did you become a designer?
Does anybody ever know when they become a designer? I doubt it. I think you start by cutting up your clothes, getting your mom mad, destroying people's earrings, cutting up your shoes, and then you finally discover, oh, I might actually be a designer. So,
What? Well, let me just rephrase it then. What age do you recall cutting up your clothes, messing up earrings?
I started at the age of 9. Is the clearest I can remember. I remember my dad coming home from Germany with this beautiful yellow suit. And it wasn't even my size, but it was so well made, and I've never seen anything like that. So I wore it with a belt, folded it over, and I just rocked that stuff until it turned from yellow to almost brown. And it became my size eventually. So, but that piece of clothing was what defined me. I wanted to take clothes, the African print, and make it so well made like that. And that was the only inspiration I had. My mom had this big box of African print, and every African mom had that. They call it the abada, the Hollandies. And if you have a full box of it, it means you're rich, you have prestige. But they never make it into anything. It's just like two-step wrapper. They tie the first one, and they tie the second one, and then they use a different blouse, because they don't want to cut into this precious fabric.
But tell me, because I remember speaking with you about this particular fabric print being your inspiration. So what was behind that?
Yeah. Those fabric, they're beautiful. They have beautiful prints, like the one I'm wearing right now. It has a lot of beautiful prints, and I felt like, why should you just make it into a two-step wrapper? Like, why can't you wear it to the office? Why can't it be versatile? And that's what inspires my designs. Being able to take my cultural fabric and wear it everywhere without looking out of place.
And then your mom have this same type of print that you basically prefer?
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
My mom, there's a particular print, she calls it Ibafele, and it's one of the first, from the first collection that I made. She had it, my grandma, who just passed away last month.
Sorry to hear that.
Yes, she just got buried. We everybody had it. It was just a print, and once I decided, okay, I'm gonna go into fashion, it was the first print that I used because it's so beautiful. It's this rich. I don't know how to explain, but it's just a very rich.
Well,
color.
you need to explain that because when you was sitting in my living room, you really explained it. That's how I remembered it.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. It's just rich. Like my mom says something about the prints, like the way the colors are blended. There's a richness to some. Some of them just look a little too. No. But this particular print, the marigold, it's called the marigold print actually right now, and it's yellow and red and black with just a little bit of blue in it.
So
Just a little
it's
beautiful.
elegant and,
Yes.
and it's classy.
It's classy. It's
Yes.
not. It's not bright in your face, but it's strong enough to draw you in and hold your attention for a long time.
So people that aren't familiar with the African prints, I mean, if you see it every once in a while, you'll see it's very distinct.
Mm-hmm.
It's unique and it has vibrant colors. Every single one of the prints seem to have vibrant colors.
Mhm.
And there's always orange and red and greens and blues and things like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So with the multiple types of prints that you have,
Mm-hmm.
and in your country, did you feel it was necessary, and like you said, instead of having one whole blouse with all this vibrant stuff, is to accentuate some of the solid colors like you have on your right now, a forest green, with some of the vibrant print around the collars or on the sleeves or something to accentuate the solid color, but to really bring it out. Is that where you wanted to have your mark to make a difference in just having, instead of just having one full African print there?
Yeah, some designs actually are like that because, I think about where are you gonna wear this to, right? Sometimes you want the whole vibrant thing and you just want to throw it out there and who can take it, who can't, and that's
Right.
fine. But then again, we live in a place where the colors are muted and you're gonna look so out of place if you have this vibrant thing going on. So yeah, that's one of my things, to take it and tailor it down so that anybody can wear it.
Yeah, like say at an office, you really can't. Some offices are traditional, and so people might be wearing suits or a simple dress
Yes.
or a little jacket over a dress. So you really can't come in with that vibrant color because, to be honest with you, it may be some kind of a dress code that you might not be able to do it. And they didn't say that, but subtly they might call you aside and say, you might not want to wear that again. But with something like what you're designing, some of your garments have solid colors with an accent of the African print, which is still going to remain subtle and not overbearing to our traditional straight lace,
Fashion and
9 to
more
5
9 to
office
5 that
clothing. Yeah.
it actually, her clothes, you can pretty much wear them anywhere, to work, to church, to
the universal.
yeah, it's a universal. Yeah. What I've seen, I was very, very impressed. So it would be something that I would consider wearing some of the fashions to work because you can. It's not the traditional patterns, what you normally see, the standard African prints. Hers it's different. When I actually seen it, I was just like, wow, that is very different. Now that is something that I could picture myself seeing, wearing on, different occasions. And you can even, she has from where you can dress it up or you can dress it down. It is, I have to say that it is, as they could say, it's this full circle of fashion.
And it's interesting that you brought that up because my target audience, my target market is the working woman, the modern day woman per se, because we have a lot of things that happen in one day.
Right.
And you want to be able to just wear one clothes the whole day.
Right.
And I've done experiments where I want my clothes to grocery shopping. The only thing is I get a lot of compliments, but it doesn't look like I'm out of place doing what I'm doing. But
Right.
I've worn it to church the same day, worn it to grocery shopping the same day, gone to a party with it the same day, and it flows. And that's
Yes.
what I'm thinking of, functionality. What is the modern day woman doing?
Yeah.
Not like my mom who has to wait for that one occasion to wear it. We do so many things in one day, and we
Yes,
wanna
we
be able
do.
to do that.
Yeah, so you can actually wear it to work, and you may have a function after work. And so you can still, you don't have to go home and change. It's basically to the point where, you can have it on all day.
Yeah. So in that regard, you don't have to be concerned about it being, you being overly dressed for one situation and underdressed for another situation. So it's elegant enough, but and subtly stated, but not overbearing. It sounds like.
Yes.
Yeah. So the styles then. So that's the prints and the colors, but the styles, are they more mainstream? Like if you're gonna wear a dress, is it more a straight or an A-line or something like that, or
Different.
Might. I think about myself when I want to wear clothes like what I'm wearing now. It's more free, but it's not so free that it's not structured.
Yeah. So it doesn't look like a potato sack that you're wearing. Right? I don't want to be in a grocery store with a potato sack on, or go to that evening gown. Although you could strap it up, so something free, you could then belt it and make it a little bit more form-fitting, right?
Yeah, you can belt this and change the necklace to something more sparkly and a drop earring. Change your hairstyle, and you'll be going to a big function. And then you can just take off my sandals, the high heels, wear flat sandals, let down your head, and grab your grocery bag, and you're going to grocery shopping. And I keep saying grocery shopping because I know how many times I run to the grocery shop. So I don't know. I'm just, With children, you don't have time
to change clothes. Just
Exactly.
To the grocery store.
Well, basically, you're representing today's modern woman and mom. So today's woman, they have so many different roles. They are their mother, their wives, they have a career. So they're juggling so many different things, at one time. So you will want a certain outfit that you pick in the morning that you just wear all day long. All day,
Yeah.
So I have a question. When you're designing something for a specific lady, say myself, even say I want to dress for an occasion, do you actually use a pattern? Because there's sizes, obviously. Do you make a pattern for someone?
Yes, I make a pattern, and I make sure that everything is tailored towards you. The colors you like, where you think you might be wearing it to, and some people like their clothes fitted, some people like it loose, so whatever. But I start with a pattern. I start with a drawing. Now you approve the drawing, and then I go on to making the pattern.
So she sketches, and she uses pattern and everything. She know how to make from. When I tell you, from basic, simple, casual, to wedding gowns and ball gowns. So she can do everything in between.
So then who taught you how to sew? Your grandmother?
No. Actually, I learned how to sew when I came to America.
So, wait a minute. So you just learned how to sew. What was you doing over in Nigeria?
I had people making clothes for me. Also, in Nigeria, labor is fairly cheap. So you can actually get someone to work for you and make those things. But here in America, I can't afford anybody, so...
So technically, before you were doing the designing, and someone else was doing the actual
Sewing.
the seamstress part of it.
Yeah.
And then now you've had to be both the designer and the seamstress to make the clothes for the last 4, 5, 6 years, right? Yeah. So that's an interesting thing. So then, how do you know how to make your buttonholes and things like that? Because that's not easy. I'm a seamstress, so that's not easy to make certain things and do your piping and all these other types of things. So you just hit and miss until you get it right?
Actually, no. I actually messed a whole bunch of clothes up, and that's why I never went into it professionally until I was strong enough to do it, and that was last year. So, but yeah, I messed up a lot of stuff, and I watched a lot of YouTube, and actually took some classes too.
Okay.
So that's it.
Yeah, and I would say that since that's what you wanted to do, and you realized you couldn't afford to pay for the labor, that then you had to go and take some sewing classes, which they offer in places where you where you can buy a sewing machine and things like that. They have free classes. So
Yeah, I went to Mesa. Funny enough, I had a dream of going to FIDM from Nigeria when I was 16 years old. But coming here, I found out that I could actually get the same thing from Mesa College.
Exactly,
Yes.
exactly. So I think with that, we should probably take a break and we'll pick it up after that.
Yes.
So you're listening to the Many Shades of Pink and Black Health Radio program on kblkradio.com, and we will be right back.
I'm a breast cancer survivor.
We are honoring our heroes.
I'm here today because of Susan G. Coleman's free mammogram.
We are pledging to save lives.
We're passionate about bringing the services out to the community.
We are providing free mammograms. We are providing hope.
Welcome back to the Many Shades of Pink and Black Health Radio program on kblkradio.com, sponsored by Many Shades of Pink. I'm your host, Wendy Sherrill, breast cancer survivor and advocate.
And I'm your co-host, Dr. Susanna Flo, a retired family physician. Our special guest today is Miss Stephanie Ugochi Iwuaba, fashion designer at Ugochi Iwuaba. And today our topic is One Fashionable Night, San Diego. So we will pick up where we left off.
Yes. And so I want to dive into this, the inspiration behind these designs. First, I would like to ask you, what made your design stand out more so than any other designer?
I would think that what makes my design stand out is that I don't follow trends.
Okay.
So
when you say a trend, meaning what?
So every time there's a fashion trend, there's always a fashion trend going on. This is what everybody's doing. Now, when I go designing, trends don't come into my mind.
Okay.
The only thing I think of is I just get inspired by whatever is in my heart, and that's what inspires it. Like when I came to the Susan G. Komen breast cancer fashion show, there was a gown I made specifically for that, and it had different shades of pink in it. It had the purple, but I broke it because when I was thinking about it, many shades of pink, the brokenness that comes from that.
And we will talk more about like the breast cancer and the breast cancer event and all that other stuff. But I wanted to just really focus on your designs right now, and also what is One Fashionable Night San Diego. Can you tell our audience what it is and the date?
Okay, so the date for One Fashionable Night San Diego is June 30th. And it's gonna be about fashion and music and dance. I have gone to so many fashion shows, and we can believe that sometimes it gets boring.
Yes.
Because you just see people just wearing clothes and passing by. You don't even get a chance to see everything because you're already bored.
Okay.
But everybody just sits there and pretends that this is the best thing that's happening to them. Which it might be,
right?
But I'm thinking that to infuse a little bit of fun into fashion, we should have one fashionable night where even the audience feels like they're part of the fashion show.
Okay.
And so that's what I'm trying to do with this fashion show. We will have people who make those guests up, just touch up a little bit, and then they will take pictures, and we're going to give them back pictures that come in front of a magazine cover, so they can download it online. Now that's them feeling like they're part of what we're doing.
So wow, so I can come to the event and end up looking like $1 million on the cover of a fashion magazine.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So, so we're gonna do that for our guests, and then we're gonna have performances because I'm gonna have Maria Antoinette.
Yes.
She's going to be doing the harp.
The harp.
And then I have Amy. There's Amy, the electric violinist. She's gonna be there doing the electric violin, and we're gonna have fire dancers and a little bit of dancing with the thing.
So what's the cost for this event?
The tickets are on Eventbrite. Just search More Fashionable Eve San Diego, and the tickets are $50 for general entrance and $100 for VIP. Now VIP get complimentary cocktail and they get gift bags, and so we are trying to make it something that a lasting experience with one fashionable night in San Diego. So
And what time does it start? It's on a Saturday. I'm assuming June 30th is a Saturday.
yes,
And what time does it start?
it starts at 4 with
Or
the
in
red
afternoon?
carpet.
Mhm.
With the red carpet, and then we give time for people to come in and take pictures and do the makeup stuff that I was talking about. But the main show starts at 6.
Okay.
So
So, how difficult was it planning and designing for this event?
yeah, I have never done anything to this magnitude. So
Okay.
sometimes I feel like a fish out of water, but I'm like all my designs. This is coming from my heart, and
Okay.
I want to give it as a gift. So it's from the heart. When you are thinking about it, you don't think about all the work that's gonna go into it.
Right.
But you already jumped out, so you're gonna have to make
Yeah.
good what you have. So
So do you have people helping you in terms of organizing the event and getting that part while you're busy sewing clothes and designs for the fashion show?
Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
have like a committee?
I don't have a committee, but I do have a team which consists of my husband
Okay.
and my brother-in-law, and we also have HD Pro Films. The owner is Robert Buchanan, and he's helping us too. We have a couple of people helping. Brina is helping with the models and stuff, and so we just have and DJ Doc and Lady Rock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yes.
they help. They're helping us a lot with the music and then
The models.
Yes,
Oh, all right.
So what about promotion? Because
Yes.
you only have less than 15 days, 2 weeks, so who's helping you promote it so that the audience, the people out in the community can
Well,
be there? And I guess the other question to that is, how many can you accommodate in the hall where you are?
Yeah. We have a capacity to take about 200 to 250 guests.
Also, 200 to 250.
Guests.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And the promotion, we've been doing a lot of Facebook promotion and
Yeah.
Instagram promotion, and we've had people sharing, and most of our promotion has basically been online. I go to events too to promote it, but most of it has been on Facebook.
So my question for old people like me that hardly go on Facebook, how are you going to reach people like me?
That's
Because,
another.
should you have a couple of flyers, or we're announcing on the radio show, but just in case someone isn't listening to the radio, you still want to capture that audience. So, where can you capture the other people that aren't necessarily on Facebook all the time and
Reach
may not
those
be-
people,
yeah.
because you want an all-around type of crowd. So therefore, how would you go by reaching those type of people?
Yeah.
Do you have flyers?
Okay. We don't have printed flyers though, but that's another thing I was saying. I'm like a fish out of water. I haven't done anything to this magnitude, so it's also a learning process. So that the one for next year is going to be bigger and better. So, yeah. Thank you for mentioning that.
If you have a flyer, you can print maybe a dozen or two, just large enough to post somewhere. Like in some of the beauty shops or, wherever, and maybe if some churches, just so you can capture the rest of the audience that's not on Facebook or Instagram, like myself. I'm just thinking about me. So, I'm out here representing a population that's not on social media.
Right.
I get there every once in a while, but by then the event's gone. So, cater to some of us oldies too, okay?
Yeah.
and that's very important. So I'll make a note of that.
Okay. So, do you have a preference in your sizing when you're designing? I know some designers, as we see Rip the Runway, are very small and petite models. What is your preference?
Well, when I started out, just like me and my heart, I'm like, I don't care what your size is. All I know is as long as the clothes are gonna look good on you, I'm gonna make clothes. No, I did the first fashion show, and there's actually a reason why designers prefer to go with the skinnier models.
Why is that?
She's getting to that.
Less time,
Less
Okay.
material.
less material,
Okay.
less time trying to fit around the curves, which is very important because you still want the clothes to look good on the runway.
Okay.
Now, if you have someone who doesn't have a lot going on with the curves, you can actually make anything and then just fit around it just easy. Now, if the person is more endowed, you have to account for every curve so that the design is going to look good.
Yeah, because I'm very, I'm a curvaceous woman. So.
Curvaceous.
Now that being said, a majority of us, like me, we're curvy. So what am I gonna do?
Right.
I make clothes for both curvy women. I make for whoever. And my clothes, my designs, when I open my store, is gonna run all the way into women sizes, plus sizes. So it doesn't really matter to me. But right now, for cost effectiveness and time effectiveness, I would, do what every other designer is trying to do and just stick to the skinny.
So you wouldn't have a curvaceous woman like me in your show?
I will. Most definitely. There will be some curvaceous women, but it's going to be like maybe... there's a girl. She's always walked for me in Ugochi. Ugochi is... She's not gonna be the skinniest model you would find, but she's fire on the runway, and I cannot leave without Ugochi.
Okay.
So Ugochi is always gonna walk for me.
Okay.
I have green hair. Green hair is also very curvy down there, which is what I like. I actually prefer the curvy women because I think clothes look good on curvy women. Now, that being said, you still have to think about the time, the materials, and
the cost.
The costs.
Okay.
Because you're trying to promote an idea and a fashion, so you want it to look at its best. But then, number one, once someone sees, it doesn't matter what size they are, little, medium, larger. That if they like that and they see it on the person, they can envision themselves having it, and then she can create it for the various sizes, the plus sizes and things like that too.
Well, I'm just saying because on mainstream runway, you always see the little skinny ones, about like that.
Yeah, but the clothes don't even look good on them because it looks like a sack.
I mean,
they're flat here, they're flat in the front, they're flat in the back. You can't tell if they're coming or going. Everything looks like a... So to be honest with you, there's something in between. So instead of a -2, it's like a 6, 8, 10 type of thing, and then you have someone like a 12 or so. So there's still curviness, but the fashion will look better. I tell you, these zeros and onesies and stuff.
I'll be honest with you. When I see it on them, I'll be like, I don't like that. I can't envision myself.
Well, because you don't see any curves. There's
right.
no curve on a zero size person. They're flat everywhere you go, right?
I'm a designer, so I will just try and skim past this so that.
We're not gonna have you.
Right.
Buy into
so therefore,
this is our personal opinion.
Right. This is what we're gonna say. Okay, I'm saying it on the record.
I think every woman is beautiful, regardless of her curves and whatever she looks
or lack of curves, right?
So
you can create curves with a little waisty and things like that. No, seriously, I mean, there's some people, just straight people.
As long as you wear, because I used to be a size 0. Believe it or
Me
not.
too.
Me too.
Okay.
Once upon a time.
We get older.
So that's the thing. I believe that every woman is beautiful as long as you wear what fits you, what suits you. So as long as you know those things that don't look good on you and stay away from it, you're good.
I was gonna say sometimes I see outfits that I really feel the designer should not make in double digits because they just don't look properly. They hug too much, which then is almost a turn off. You know what I mean? So there's certain things that look very elegant in double digits and things like that, but outside of that, there's certain things that should not, because to me the lady it leaves nothing for the imagination. Okay, that's all I need to say.
Not everybody is for everybody.
Exactly. So
So moving on.
we'll be getting a bunch of phone calls.
I know we sure are, but you know what? Hey, we all about telling the truth, okay?
It's my first time back, so I'm feeling a little wild here.
Cause yeah, sis, she
I've been gone a couple months.
right. She
Okay.
actually have she sews, so she makes a lot of clothes. So I definitely would take her advice on clothes. So can you tell our audience how did we meet?
Oh yeah, me and Wendy, we met when you were planning the many shades of pink Susan G. Komen fashion show.
Yes.
And I came to your house, and first of all, I was a little skeptical about going, but then when I came, she actually made me feel so at home. So we talked that day, and yeah, and then the next time we saw was at the actual
event. Yeah.
So my question to you is, how did you get to even know her to reach out to her? Because I know you were looking for designers. And so how did you even hear about her? Stephanie?
That Deborah Porte.
Okay.
Because
she had worn something before.
No,
of
she
yours,
actually,
or-
when I was wanting to do a fashion show, she had already told me about Stephanie. She said, I have somebody perfect for you that, you know, is an awesome designer, and she's willing to do it for this cause. Speaking of this cause, which is a breast cancer event, the fashion show, have you or your family been affected by someone with breast cancer?
No, and you know why I sound a little down saying that? Because before I came to the show, I had a lump on my breast, in my breast, and after having the babies, and I just noticed it still stayed there, and I was scared. So when I came to the show and I listened to you, you were like, no matter what, just go in there. You could die faster for not knowing.
Exactly.
And I was scared for another 2 weeks, and then I went, and they said, well, it looks like it's, you know, you need we said, I think you need to go and get this checked out. And for her saying that alone, I got really scared, because she said, you know, you have to go and meet another person and talk about this and that, and I was like, oh my God, this cannot be happening. So I remember one time, I went to go and get the mammogram.
Oh, mammogram.
And they said, well, this is very, they're very worried about the size of it and the way it looks, so I need to come back for a biopsy. And I stopped taking their calls.
Oh my goodness.
What?
Yeah, I stopped going. I was scared. And I remember telling my husband, you know, if I'm gonna die, let me just tell you what's gonna happen to my children. And I just went into this phase when I was really down. Now, the reason why I'm saying it is because I kind of can now feel personally what somebody would feel when they're told that you have cancer. So I finally, my OB was sending me messages. She was calling me. I wasn't picking my call. Everybody was, you know, the surgeon guy, the mammogram people, come back and get a biopsy. And I was like, no, I don't want to do that. Finally, I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna die, at least let me have enough time to plan for my death. And that is just a wake-up call for me. You know, it woke me up, and I can remember going in, and they did the biopsy. The result came out, and it wasn't cancerous, thank God. But they still think that I need to get it out, you know. And I haven't gone back to take it out, but I will go after my show.
Great. And audience, just to let you know, one of the things that I always say, just because you hear the big C word, doesn't mean that it's a death sentence. So this is an example of what our community of women does out of fear. And there's nothing to fear from getting a mammogram biopsy. You know, we basically have to really take our breast health and put it in the power and put it all the way up there to the top and make it priority.
I think the lessons from this that Stephanie was struggling with initially was she had that lump for quite a while, obviously, before her pregnancies and then through her pregnancies and then after the pregnancy. You said
it started after my first pregnancy when I breastfed my son. Yes.
That's when you noticed it.
Yeah.
And then how long after that before you finally looked about?
Long, because I just had I had my third baby.
Right. So that's what I thought you said, after your pregnancy. So after all 3 pregnancies, or somewhere between the first and the third. So that's quite a while. That did you think anything of it before? You just said, "Oh, lump," right? And you didn't think much of it. But did it grow, or did it change, or was it?
It started growing because I noticed that it was little, but I felt, it's a block meal thought, it's gonna go away. Now it didn't go away, and the second pregnancy came. I breastfed my baby, and then the third one came, and I breastfed my baby. But then I noticed that it was
even bigger.
A bit bigger, yeah.
So I would like for the audience to have a lesson from this, and this is basically every lump should be evaluated.
Exactly.
And we should not make the assumption. Thank God the situation that you had for that period of time was not cancer at this point. But the fact that it was there for years could have put you at risk, and you made the assumption that it was already cancer when it may not have been.
Exactly.
So we don't want the women to make assumptions. We don't want them to think the worst just because there's a lump there, because not every lump is something bad. There's cysts, there's fibroadenomas, there's all kinds of other things.
Right.
So we want to empower the women that when they feel a lump, don't wait too long.
Exactly.
And don't make the assumption that it's related to my period only, or it's related to a blocked milk duct or anything like that. You really need to, since you don't know, you need to find out. So we want to empower and encourage women that if they feel a lump, if you want to wait one cycle on your menstrual cycle, and if it's still there after that, I suggest that they go and be evaluated. Try not to have fear get in the way of leaving things there in the system too long, and oh, we have some music going on.
Oh, yeah.
That's you.
Yeah, that's
okay.
fine.
That's Wendy's radio phone going off. She was supposed to put it on vibrate. No,
I know.
She just interrupted my conversation, my train of thought. We're going to have everybody putting their phone on this. But anyway, we're trying to figure out where's this music coming from. Wendy's purse is over there singing. But anyway, really on a very serious note, I'm so glad that even though you waited a long time, and some of it was maybe not having concern initially, but then the next phase of it was having fear, that postponed you from even going and having a simple mammogram done. And then I know you're waiting until this event to have your biopsy, and I hope you don't wait much longer than that.
I've done the biopsy, came out.
Oh, so the removal, that's why I apologize. Yeah, the biopsy
Yes.
that came out that is non-cancerous, and that they suggested it be removed. And I would second that, because something that's been there that long should be removed. Because to be honest with you, biopsy, they may have done what they call core biopsy, so if the lump is a certain size, they get samples, but that doesn't mean somewhere where they didn't sample might not have some abnormal cells. And that's not to put fear in you, that's just the reality of, unless they take the whole unit out and test it, there's no way to know if there's a few cells that are bad in the whole lump.
Exactly.
So keep that in mind. And for the women out there that have sensed or felt a lump or some discomfort, make sure you guys go and get evaluation. Even if you're younger, they may recommend an ultrasound first. But if you're of the age 35 or so, then they will possibly go ahead and do a mammogram and then follow that up with an ultrasound. And that's probably just some take-home takings from your situation. You're living proof, and so the anxiety of it, even though you haven't gotten any bad news per se, you can, like you said, you can now imagine what the fear and the angst and the stress and the depression is when a woman actually is given that diagnosis of cancer.
It just sucks the wind out of you. You start thinking, like, what is all this for? All this stuff that I'm doing, what is it for?
Yeah. Back to your designs. My question is how can you help breast cancer survivors through fashion and designs during their breast cancer journey? Or do you feel like you can put a smile on their face?
Yes, I know that some women get to lose their breasts. They have to take it out completely.
Yeah.
So there are some designs that will be more flattering, take away attention from that and put it somewhere else and still make them feel very beautiful. So I think that's one way. Fashion always makes everybody happy. Remember the fashion show? Everybody was happy and then crying and then laughing.
And it was a beautiful experience, and all the women, I have to say thank you for being a part of that fashion show. Within empowering and actually being such a uplifting the women that was actually going through. There were women that was actually going through their battle of breast cancer. Some that just was getting over their battle. They just had finished, the chemo, radiation, and everything. And again, everybody had a smile on their face. And it was so beautiful to where they contacted me. Are you going to do it again next year? And I hope.
Sign me up.
I hope that you be a part of our next. It's going to be the second annual Many Shades of Pink fashion show. So I hope you sign up for it.
If you get your models early, she can start designing from now.
I know.
So we don't have to wait till after her show.
Well, after her show and after she have her lump removed.
Yeah, exactly. Priorities.
Yeah, we gotta let her do her priorities.
Yeah.
So with that being said, how can a woman, what is your advice to the women in the community that wants to take steps in becoming a designer?
One of the things that I'll have to encourage them is that the first clothes you make will not be the best. It will be far, far, far from good.
Okay.
But you have to put in the work and keep doing it every day, every day. If the buttons defeat you today, that doesn't mean it's going to defeat you tomorrow. Because you're going to try again.
Right,
and
right.
just keep trying.
So
okay.
if you can't get the buttons and the buttonholes today, then you get hook.
Okay.
Use a hook and eye for today.
Yeah, so hook and eye.
There's alternatives
Okay.
until you can master. But like she said, she didn't take any formal training, so it's going to be difficult the first few renditions of your design.
Okay.
And then you create your own patterns. I mean, you design. People can start out, if they want to start, they can start off with a basic pattern that you can actually purchase and then create something of your own until you learn how to make your own patterns. I mean, I learned how to make my own patterns by just getting the what they used to have, the brown paper bags, and then you cut out to a size and you make it. I mean, I learned from my grandmother.
Yeah.
I was from 4, so that's why I asked you a little bit about who did you see designing or sewing or anything, but you didn't get your formal kind of training until you hit and miss here and then got some classes.
Yes.
Can you give our audience 3 tips you would suggest for fashion?
Wear what fits you.
Okay.
Do not follow the fashion trends.
Okay, do not.
Do not.
Okay.
Find your own style and just stick to it.
All right.
Just stick to it. Just do different variations of what looks good on you. Once in a while, try something different, but just stick to what looks good on you. Because we all have that one thing that we don't want to highlight. Just pick that.
I have a lot of things that I don't like to highlight.
And then you get a fashion that kind of creates an ambiance somewhere else.
Right. Yeah.
So if some people don't like upstairs, they put a waist there to draw attention to the waist. Or if they have nice hips, they draw attention to the hips. Or if the hips are a little too large, then you get something that doesn't hug the waist. I mean, there's ways to do that.
Yeah, and then if you're not too tall, do not wear long stuff a lot. Just make sure that it shows your legs.
Well, let me tell you, I love wearing my maxis. And I'm a shorty, okay?
And you could do that if you wear it. Just make sure it goes all the way down to the floor. That way it gives an illusion of a longer length.
Okay, so someone that is my height, like I love wearing maxi, but I also love wearing heels. So, and I always say that, I'm 5'7". I'm actually 5'7" in my mind.
With a 5-inch heel, right?
catch me very, you'll always pretty much catch me in a heel, or some kind of platform shoe because, again, I'm 5'7". I'm not 5'3" or 4". I'm 5'7".
Actually, you do look taller to me. Even if not mention it, I will not remember. But
yeah. So you would suggest, like, if I wear a maxi, because I love wearing long maxi skirts, the maxi dresses. So you would suggest that it goes all the way down to my ankle.
Past that, since you're already wearing heels, you cover part of the heels. You look like everything is yours.
Oh, okay. All right.
Like
See, that's a fashion tip. That's something that, that I basically, and I consider myself, a fashion guru myself within my own right.
You are. But you are.
Thank you.
Trends
right. I just do, I'm from the Midwest and I love fashion. So I've been, ever since I've been little, I create, I never really cared what other people was wearing. I wore and created my own, my own sense of style, and just never care.
You're a trendsetter.
Yes.
You know that because sometimes you'll find people that are doing things along the lines of what you're doing. So you are setting. So you set a trend that people want to. Kind of mimic what you're wearing.
Yeah, that's true. I have that a lot, sis.
I'm just saying.
So, Stephanie, can you tell our audience how to contact you about the fashion show and ordering your clothing?
So, to order my clothing, most of them are custom made for now, but I think before the end of the year that's going to change.
Okay.
Because we're looking into producing my designs since a lot of people request, certain designs on repeat.
Right.
So to keep in touch and find out what's happening, follow our Facebook page on facebook.com/Ugochi Iwuaba.
Okay.
You need to spell that.
Yes.
/UGOCHIIWUABA. B as in boy. So.
Like an hour. Okay.
No, the last letter is A.
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 As in,
yes.
Yes, as in
Iwuaba.
Iwuaba. Oh, okay.
And then on Instagram, you can find me Ugochi Iwuaba. That's Ugochi UGOCHI_IWUABA. And then you can always go to my website ugochiiwuaba.com, or you can send me an email at siwuaba@ugochiiwuaba.com. So.
Okay, and how do they get, if they want to purchase tickets for the fashion show on June 30th?
Yes, Eventbrite. Just type One Fashionable Eve San Diego and it's going to pop up on Eventbrite. So just go to Eventbrite, type One Fashionable Eve San Diego, and you will see it pop up and you can buy the tickets. Now, you can get a 10% discount by using the code UGOCHI, and then you get a 10% discount on any of the tickets.
So I have a question, because you said that the show on the Eventbrite is One Fashionable Eve?
Yes, One Fashionable Eve San Diego.
Oh,
I thought it was One Fashionable Night, San Diego.
So it's EVE.
Yes.
So it's
Like
EVE?
Oh.
Oh, okay. So I think that I got that from your commercial. One Fashionable
So
Night,
Eve.
yeah. So it's
Okay,
Eve.
so One Fashionable Eve San Diego. That's the name.
That's the name of the event. Okay. So for the audience,
and if you want to be a sponsor next year, you want to be a vendor next year, you want to be a designer on it, just send an email to mail@ugochiiwuaba.com and we'll get you started.
So I have a quick question before we tie things up. Are you the only designer showing designs for the models this year, or are there others?
Yes, I'm the only person showing clothing this year.
okay.
But I have accessories from Annette Higgins, and then I have jewelries from Agora Galleries. So they're gonna be doing basically. She's gonna be showing her hats. Annette Higgins is a custom hat maker. She makes beautiful, beautiful hats, and those hats are going to be showing that day. And then Agora Galleries is going to be producing, giving us jewelries to to accessorize the clothing. So they're going to be showing over there too.
So you guys make sure you go on out and support our own, very own Stephanie Ugochi, Iwuaba, June 20th. I mean 30th. See, I told you I get them dates messed up. But we're gonna dive into our own announcements. Join Susan G. Coleman San Diego Circle of Promise. We'll be at the San Diego North County NAACP annual Juneteenth celebration Saturday, June 16th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. In downtown Oceanside next to the Civic Center on Pier Way. Free mammograms will be offered.
And actually, I'm going to mention 2 events.
Okay.
For the ones of you guys that don't want to travel all the way up to Oceanside, Cooper's Juneteenth is going to be here on Imperial on 28th Street, and I will be out there with the Kaiser mobile van doing blood pressure and diabetes screening and health education.
Okay.
So if they can't make it up to you in Oceanside, they can come down here on Imperial. That's this Saturday for Juneteenth.
So it's 2 Juneteenth
Events.
celebration, one in North County and one in South County in San Diego.
Yes. And then our final announcement is our regular monthly event, the Community Outreach, which is the 3rd Wednesday of every month. So that's next week, Wednesday on June 20th. We will be out here at the Big Lots on Federal and Euclid. That's 1655 Euclid Avenue. And Kaiser's mobile van will be there. The nurses doing blood pressure, diabetes screening. Wendy will be out there scheduling, signing or scheduling for mammograms. We hope to have a mobile van out next month.
It'll be July.
In July. Mm-hmm. And then we'll have other vendors out there. So please come out and tell your friends to come out and it's a free event with lots of services and vendors out there.
Yeah, so you guys, we keep on every month, well, every week if we have to keep on, we've been at our location for over a year now, and we can't express to you how important it is to come out and support this community event so that we can continue to be there for another year. Mm-hmm. So we're going to pretty much, we're getting down to the end of our show, and you've been listening to the Many Shades of Pink and Black Health radio program on KBOKradio.com, sponsored by Many Shades of Pink. I'm your host, Wendy Sherrill, breast cancer survivor and advocate.
And I'm your co-host, Dr. Susanna Fallo, retired family physician. And we had the pleasure of our special guest today, Stephanie Ugochi Iwuaba. Thank you so much for coming, telling us all about, your life, your designs, your upcoming event on June 30th. We hope that the community will come out and support you, make it a huge success. Mm-hmm. And so visit her on Eventbrite and make sure that you're looking for, let me say it again, it's going to be One Fashionable Eve, San Diego. Okay.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, our pleasure.
And be sure to tune in every Sunday at 2 p.m. Visit and like our Facebook page and YouTube channel. We really need you guys to like it. Many Shades of Pink and Black Health. For information on breast cancer, visit the Coleman San Diego Circle of Promise at www.colemansandiego.org.
And if you're interested in learning about a lifestyle change program, A Healthier Me, that's my baby, and you can visit me at www.ahealthiermesd, that's San Diego.com, and there'll be information about health on there. So
look at everything.
Yes. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful and blessed week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.